Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, oh my god, I just kicked you. Are you okay? Today, we are taking a look at my old photos. For anyone that doesn't know, which is probably most people watching this channel, because why would you? I have been taking photos for 15 years and was just terrible. Just bloody awful at it. So I thought it might be fun to take a little look back and see where I started. So we're just gonna get straight in, and it's exciting and it's fun, and I am horrified that I'm about to show this stuff online. We're going way back to 2005, right? So this is the summer of 2005. I have just picked up a camera earlier in that year for the first time ever. I'm 14 years old. I have approximately no idea what I'm doing. I'm using this super like low quality, even for 2005, low quality Fuji. It's just like a wee point and shoot. I've got no clue what I'm doing with editing. I have no software for editing. It's just a crappy little Fuji and Windows Picture Manager, is that what it was called? Oh my god, okay. And this is one of the first photos that I ever took and edited and tried to make seriously. You will notice it is tiny. And that is because there just wasn't the information on this crappy little Fuji that I was using to make it any bigger. I didn't know anything about RAW versus JPEG. I had no technical aspect to it whatsoever. I was just seeing something that I liked the look of as a photo and snapping it, and that was that. And then I was bringing it into Windows Picture Manager or whatever it was and editing it afterwards, and I'm scared because I really, 15 years ago, I thought this looked really, really good. Like, I swear to God, I thought this looked really good. And to be fair, like in my defense, I look at this now and I'm like, do you know what? It's not the worst photo I've ever seen. It's badly taken and it's badly edited, but my horizon is nearly perfectly straight. Nearly. And I don't mind the idea behind it. Like, I see what I was going for. I know when I looked at that, I know what I saw in my head. And it's just that the execution wasn't there. So, but you know, I mean, that's what it is. You know, it's all a learning experience. I took this photo of my younger brother and I think it's hilarious. Again, edited very badly. Like, my highlights are all blown out. My shadows are a little bit too dark. His eyes are completely blacked out, basically, so you can't really see any kind of reflection or life in his eyes, which is a bit of a shame. But it's still one of my favourite photos I've ever taken because it's such a good expression. Like, he's such a good model. He's always been really, really good at modelling for me. And I still really love this picture, and it's such a, like, I don't know, it's such a moment. I just think that this was one of those really lucky moments. And I snapped this picture, he pulled this face, I snapped this picture, and then when I made it black and white and added tons of grey, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, I'm the best photographer that ever lived. And while I look at it now and I think, you know what, technically it's terrible, there's a sentimentality and an emotion to it which I actually really like, and I really enjoy the story behind it, and I really enjoy how his face looks. And he was also just a really cute kid, so I think this is a really good like documentation of the fact that he was such a precious little child. Since then, that was in 2005, then in 2015, so 10 years on, I recreated it, and we shot this in my caravan in front of the big window that we had at the front of the caravan, and I tried to edit it just the same, so you can see there's tons of grain. The highlights are all blown out. The only thing about this, and it kills me because I don't know why I made the decision to frame him off center when the original, he's bang in the middle, he fills the whole frame. Like, why did I change the framing? Because if you're gonna do a 10 years after progress picture, you need to frame it the same. After 2005 comes a little bit of progress. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I cannot clean my lens at this point. This was in 2006. For some reason I had never cleaned my lens, which is a shame because this is still to this day one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. It's so crisp, it's so clean, there's hardly any noise. Everything in the center lines up perfectly. I even don't mind the edit. The edit, again, was Windows Picture Manager. I wasn't doing anything fancy. I was mostly just like adding a vignette and heightening the contrast like an absolute ton, and then just seeing what looked good. And this looked really good. And it's really, still to this day, one of the best photos I've ever taken. But it is hands down not through any talent or planning or organization of my own. This was when we were on holiday up here on Skye in Easter of 2006, during the Easter holidays, and we stayed in this log cabin right across Broadford Bay from Ben Nekallik, which is one of the main sort of most recognizable Cuillins. And we were just playing out on the beach in front of the cabin one evening, and the sun was going down and I had my camera and I just snapped. And it was complete luck that it lined up this way because I did not plan this, and it's complete luck that it edited so well because, again, I still didn't know anything about JPEG or RAW. I was just shooting for the sake of shooting. But this is the point at which I'm 15 years old. I transferred from French GCSE to photography GCSE because I discovered that I really, really loved it and I wanted to study it and I wanted to learn as much as I could about it. So my mum very kindly took me out and we bought a camera, and that's still the camera I use to this day. I'm just saying, like, it's not all about your kit, it's not about having the most expensive or newest everything. It's about making what you have work for you. Then we come to 2007, and this was my first attempt at portraiture, really. This is my gorgeous, gorgeous friend Laura, who very kindly said that I could put one of her pictures from many years ago in this video because we shot this in her garden. She had an absolutely stunning garden in her house where she grew up, and she was just beautiful, and she had all these cool boots, and you know, we thought, you know what, we'll go for the lace on lace on lace thing. I'll edit it all dark and moody, I'll make it like really emo, it'll be great for MySpace or whatever. And I loved these photos, and I felt really proud of them while I was shooting them and while I was editing them. And the only problem I have with them now that I look back on them is that I don't think I, as the photographer, did enough justice to the location and the model that I had, because I think now, if I reshot Laura now, which by the way, the next time I see you is precisely what we're gonna do, I would definitely do it so much better. Like, I know she loved these photos at the time, I don't know how she feels about them now, but I personally look at them and I think, you know what, they had the potential to be really, really amazing pictures that she could treasure forever, and I feel like I let that down. So the next time I see Laura, whenever that is, we are definitely going out and we are definitely taking new portraits, and I will not take no for an answer because I could do it justice now, and because if you get a great location as well as a great model and everything just marries together and then you don't like the photos, well then it turns out that you as the photographer are the problem. And that is the problem that I have with these, is that I just see here that I was trying, but I didn't understand enough about what I wanted to accomplish. I didn't have a proper plan for the shoot, and so I feel like that let the whole thing down. But I still love these pictures. I think Laura looks absolutely glorious. There's a whole photo story that I edited from this, and I got a lot of usable shots, which is really, really good. You always want like a nice return for the amount of usable shots. If you take 1,000 photos and only 5 of them are usable, then that's not so good. However, I always recommend take 1,000 photos because 5 is better than nothing. So always take way more pictures than you think you need, okay? Like seriously. So we are gonna jump ahead a wee bit to 2015 because I would like to talk about this picture because I have recently been really interested in learning how to edit stuff to look really dreamy and glowy and, you know, like it's not, you know, almost like a dreamscape style thing. And so I've been looking through all my old hard drives for stuff to edit and to see if I have anything that's suitably shot that I could edit into this format. And I came across this one, and again, I don't actually think I have the original of this. I love my little watermark, like I thought it was going to be printed in National Geographic or something. So at this point I am working with Paint.net, which is a free limited version of Photoshop, and it's made by volunteers and they do a fantastic job, and the amount of tools in this software, considering it's free and you can just donate to them if you want to, is absolutely amazing. So if you can't afford Photoshop but you want to start messing around with some of the features of Photoshop, I would definitely say download Paint.net. It served me very well for years and years. And I was also using a free rip of Lightroom. I apologise. I don't really, it was very expensive and I didn't have the need to pay for it at that point, so I just ripped a free one off Google. Don't do that, that's piracy, that's bad. So I had Lightroom and I had Paint.net at this point, and this photo was taken in 2015 in November. I remember it was my birthday. I was in Ireland. I went with my boyfriend at the time. We took a trip to Ireland for my birthday, and we stayed in this lovely hotel, and it had really gorgeous grounds, and it absolutely pissed it down for the whole 48 hours I was there, and I got to see absolutely nothing. However, the grounds were nice, and this was taken in the grounds. They had like a little foresty bit, and I like the glowy aspect. I have no idea how I did this. What you will probably find is that my lens was covered in rain because it really did piss it down the whole time we were there. And there's not much else to say about that really. You know, you go to Ireland in November, what do you expect? However, and it was a very short trip, and I have, I think, about 1,000 photos for the entire trip, and all of them, the lens is dripped on and damp, and everything just looks really like grey and miserable and overcast, and it's difficult to pull anything out of that because I also wasn't having the best time taking photos. I actually felt really stuck with my photos, and I felt very uninspired with them, and to be completely frank, it's very different now, because now whenever Dan and I go somewhere, I grab the camera and I'm constantly like, go stand there, take a picture of me here, go stand over there, do this, do that, and you know, and I feel really inspired and supported shooting around him, and it's not weird. I've never had that before though. Every previous relationship that I've had, they think it's cool and all that you're into photography and stuff, but you know, they don't really want to stand there for 10 minutes while you line up the perfect shot for yourself. And no one ever wanted to pose for me, and I always felt very self-conscious asking if we could stop here or go there or wherever. And it reflected in the photos that I was taking at the time. The photos are bad, they are limited, there's no inspiration, the edits aren't great. And while I like the glowy, slightly dreamy nature of this edit, I know now that if I went back to Ireland, I would 100% capitalize on the fact that I was there. I was only there for 48 hours. I very easily could have achieved so much more and shot so many more pictures, and it was my birthday. It should have been all about whatever I wanted to do, right? That's what your birthday is. It's all about you. It's the one day of the year that you're the center of attention. So if you know someone that's into photography and you go away with them somewhere for their birthday or an anniversary or a special treat for them, please, please, please don't make them feel self-conscious about shooting and not like spending time with you, because you can make that spending time as the two of you. So that's all I would say on that. I really enjoyed looking back at my old photos. I can't believe it's been 15 years since I first picked up a camera. I can't believe how little progress I've made. However, if you would like to see my current style of photography, then there is a link in the description, as always with every video, to my Instagram. That is the best place to follow me for photography stuff, because I'm always posting stuff there. I say always, once in a blue moon I post twice in 2 days. Other than that, it's as and when I feel like it, but it's still all photography based, so you can follow me there on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit like and subscribe, it really helps me out. Hit that ring bell button to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!